62 days is the longest you've been without food. How long do you plan this time to go without food?
100 days. Fasting is you just don't eat. Some herbal teas.
How do you prepare for that, like mentally, physically?
That's a very good and important question.
Welcome to Mastery Podcast, where we talk about balancing all areas of life while pursuing our passion as entrepreneurs and business owners. I am your host, Dr. Sass. And when we have someone like Mr. Pascal Bachman here, who know how to master all this area, I'm just so excited to share his expertise with you. Now, Pascal Bachman is the CEO of Strategy Achievers, where they build brands that drive impact. Welcome, Pascal, to Mastery Podcast. I'm so excited to talk to you today.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Sass. And me too. I'm glad to share and to hopefully give some value. It's, I think, a very unique topic with many beliefs, and I think we're going to put in some clarity today.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about fasting, which is an aspect of health, which is very important, right, for entrepreneur and business owner and human in general.
I think it can be very supportive if done right. I also believe that the basic knowledge of it is the reason or the main reason why people actually do it and are able to do it. And this is where often, that's often what's missing, the knowledge and the understanding of what actually happened. And that we're not going to starve to that.
Yeah, that's the misconception about fasting, right? People throw away the word fasting around, and fasting for a lot of people is like just fasting from something. And the actual fasting, can you clarify what fasting means?
I mean, there are different ways of fasting, but fasting today becomes like the fashion word, like I'm fasting, and then we figure out, okay, they don't eat meat for a week. Like they're fasting from eating meat. For me, that's not fasting. That's just not eating something. But fasting, there are different ways. I mean, many different cultures, countries, in different generations do that in different ways. There's the healing fasting, there's the water fasting, there's the zero fasting. But basically fasting is to not eat. Mm-hmm. You stop eating for a certain amount of time. And this is where all these concepts come in. Intermittent fasting, for example, where you have a time window of eating and then you have a period of not eating, which is the period of fasting. But basically fasting is, to break it down and make it very simple, it's you just don't eat. All you do is drink, preferably just pure water. And some herbal teas are fine too. Yeah.
Know what kind of alcohol? Yeah. You drink water and
teas.
And tea.
Like teas,
right.
Lemon, like sometimes some lemon juice. Sometimes I put in, for example, here a very tiny bit apple cider vinegar, but no other stuff, no sodas, no coffees, no creams, no milk, no all that kind of stuff. You don't drink that.
Yeah, but sometimes black coffee is fine, right? Just not like the Starbucks fancy coffee, stuff like that.
Yeah, all that stuff. It's basically you want to have 0 calories, and all that stuff have calories. So you want to have a very, very strict calorie restriction down to 0. And how you achieve that is drink water, and anything else that have something else added to water have most likely calories, unless it's maybe like a herbal tea with some fennel seeds, for example, or some saffron and stuff like that.
In the water.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: Why should people fast? Is there like a health benefit that comes with fasting?
Absolutely. Like there are thousands of studies out there throughout all these years in all these different countries that fasting give you a lot of different benefits, such as, like, for example, most people don't know that the number one thing that we all do every single day that takes the most energy and drains energy from us is digesting. And that if our body starts to go in that digesting mode because we eat, it takes so much energy. All the blood is there, and it's a ton of work for the body. And to give that whole digesting system a break, to actually calm down, a period of doing nothing, of relaxing, of regenerating, of just having a pause, is super beneficial, because that energy is not just not used or needed during that phase. That's energy that we have access to and that we can use in a different way. And that's something that you start to feel if you start to fast regularly. And beside that, there are a ton of other things. For example, all these bacteria that we have within us, they are craving and waiting for food all the time. And most of the time, they wait for sugar. And that's what the majority of society eats. Sugar is not just white sugar. Sugar is all the carbohydrates are converted into sugar. And therefore, that's food for all these parasites and all the stuff that we don't want to feed. And again, giving fasting period, we starve them sometimes to death. Ooh.
Wow. So we don't starve ourselves. We starve the parasites and the bacteria. And that's the health benefit of it. Give your body time to just clean out, right?
Clean out and relax and not always be busy.
Yeah, and people get this idea that, oh wow, you don't eat for so long. Are you gonna pass out? Are you gonna die? Are you gonna all of a sudden contract some disease or something? Can you clarify some of that kind of myth out there?
There are so many beliefs about everything, right? Like not just fasting, we all have these beliefs about pretty much everything that we came across throughout our lives. And one of them is all these myths and beliefs about how we feel when we fast. We get angry. We don't have patience. Poor wife, poor kids. All that stuff. I'm going to starve to death. We need food. We need nutrients. We need all these vitamins and minerals and proteins and all that stuff. We need that daily, which is just not true, because we all have storages. And we all have a ton of energy within us, not just from food, from different other levels. Maybe we go into that later. But I think it comes down to the mindset. Like, if we, and this is what I said and meant in the beginning when we started our conversation, where are you with your knowledge regarding what actually happened in the body? And having that knowledge and understanding helps us to get rid of these beliefs. Because I always say, if you can do this and you have a handful there, you don't need to worry about starving to death. That's all food. And that fat depots are there for a reason, right? These depots are there to be converted into energy in case you have no food external. So the body is very smart. The body knows exactly how to convert all these different areas into energy so that we don't starve to death.
Right. And talking about starve to death, you fast for a long time before. And how many days have you gone before this time? I know this is day number 14 for you, but in the past, you fasted many times. How long have you gone without food?
I remember the first time when I did that, I went for 42 days. And the reason I started eating again was my beliefs. I learned, and here, this is dangerous. Everybody around me, back then when I went to church, they said, we have some doctors there. It's very dangerous. You shouldn't do that. This can give you very serious health conditions and issues and stuff like that. And from my childhood, I don't know how it is here in the US, but in Switzerland, we learned that you can only survive 3 days without food and water. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to die. And all that stuff is subconsciously stored somewhere. And then after 42 days, I thought, like, maybe it's time to, maybe it goes into the area of, like, it's not healthy anymore. And then I started eating again because of that. And then another longer one that I did was maybe 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. That was 62 days. I don't know what's up with the two, but it was 62. I think I have that subconscious goal of 40 or 60. And then I thought, let's go like a little bit more. Like Ed Milet would say, the power of one more. I thought I'd do 2 more. So 62 days was the longest so far.
Yeah. And for you, that's considered fasting, and you normally also you do like fasting a few days here and there, right? Like once a week, for example, you fast.
Yeah, we made it a habit to kind of don't eat one day of the week. Mm-hmm. Like during the days, usually my day starts like this. I get up, do all my stuff, and the walk, the gym, the work, and all that stuff, meditation, and all these things. And then I break and that's the funny thing, actually, right? In the English language, breakfast, it's not like eat breakfast 8 o'clock in the morning. Like that's what we learn again. In the morning, you need to give rich and a lot of energy because this is what's going to bring you through the day. Breakfast is the name, or the word breakfast is break fast. You break your fast because overnight you have a period of fasting. And then when you start eating, it doesn't matter what the time is, you break that fast. And when I get up, like I eat the first time maybe around 2 or 3 o'clock. No, break fast.
Like 2, 3 in the afternoon.
2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then a second meal at around 6 o'clock, between 6 and 7. And that's the window that I eat, and that's considered intermittent fasting. Mm-hmm. Doing this all week, and then one day of the week, usually Sunday, it's just when we don't eat at all, just give the system a break and have some rest, and it's nice. If you get used to it, you don't have to buy food, you don't have to cook food, you don't have to prepare food, you don't have to eat food, you don't have to digest food. So what do you do all that time, right? It's like, it's almost strange in the beginning. Mm-hmm. I guess it's almost like these people who stop smoking, not having a cigar between the hand. Like it's weird. What do you do? But you learn how to deal with it.
Right. And you said 62 days is the longest you've been without food. And how long do you plan this time to go without food?
100 days.
100 days.
Yeah.
And do you know anybody who've done 100 days fast before?
I don't know anybody.
Me neither. So how do you prepare for that? It's like mentally, physically, how do you prepare to go like that long without food?
That's a very good and important question. First of all, I didn't come up with the 100 myself. Like I took a shower, and that sounds maybe weird for some of your listeners, but it came to me. Like I took a shower and I had that voice. I was in spirit, I guess, that said like, why don't you fast for 100 days? I think it's time for it. And I just received that, and then I decided without further thinking, like, let's do it. Let's go for 100 days. I feel ready. I feel prepared. I feel right. It feels right. I didn't even think about 100 days and what it means and what other people do and what they don't do and all the beliefs out there and health-wise, condition-wise, energy-wise. I didn't give that any attention and thoughts at all. I just got that number. I made a decision, and now I go for it. And the preparation question that you ask, I think it's super important. because the way I prepare myself, and everybody who wants to go for a fast, like 24 hours, 3 days, 5 days, 10 days, 21 days, whatever it is, I believe preparation is everything. You need to understand what you can experience during that phase. So I really encourage everybody, go to Google. Maybe I can provide, if you do that, I can provide a sheet, which is my personal preparation sheet. It's not an advice at all. It's how I prepare myself. So I'm not a doctor, but I can send you that, and then you can provide that if you want.
Sure. We can put the link below the video, so our viewer can have access to that, how you prepare for these 100 days of fast.
And the main thing for me on there is really to make the research, and that's basically on the paper, but what can happen not to you, but for you through that period. You, for example, can have extremely strong headaches. Mm-hmm. You can be very weak and have no energy. You can go through a period of, I cannot sleep. Like, I'm tired, but I just can't sleep. You can poop for like 2 weeks without eating. Like, wow. And it feels weird. And you have all these different things that can happen, but preparation in that area means, like, if you know that this could be the case, you could get dizzy and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. If you know, high blood pressure, liver is detoxing, headache. Like, if you understand the process, you just know, okay, I have it. I knew that was a possibility. You write it off your list because you know exactly. You go through that period and it's going to eventually go away. But this is what preparation is for me, to really understand what happened and why it happened. Because mm-hmm. like, all these parasites are hungry. If you don't feed them, they run out of food. They know exactly they're going to die. So what do they try to do? They try to make you eat. So you're going to have cravings. You're going to have all these different things and reasons that I consider excuses for us to stop. I stopped because. Nope.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, you weren't prepared enough. You didn't know what's coming, and you gave up. And that's something that I believe that's why this is very important.
Yeah, and this is where people fail many times, right? And I have some experience with fasting, and that's when I break my fasting period, and that's always the case. It's like day number 4 or day number 5, right? That's the hardest mm-hmm. day to overcome, because of what happened during those days.
Yeah, that's the crucial phase, because our body runs on sugar. Like, it's the sugar metabolism. So the main energy that we draw energy from, the main energy source, are carbohydrates, which is again converted into sugar that becomes energy. And this is where all our bodies run. That's the main energy source. And on day 3, 4, or 5, depending on the personality, the body type, and all that stuff, the body switches from, because you don't feed sugar. So the body have no energy at all. And again, the body is smart. So the body switch, and that's very possible evolution reason. The reason is because our body learned to run on both sides. The body switch from sugar metabolism to the fat metabolism. So the body start to convert fat into energy, and that's the new energy source, because there's no sugar. And that's the ketogenic diet. So the body start to create these ketones, and that becomes an energy for us so that the body can run. And this is when the body actually going to eat up all your fat, convert it into energy, and you feel great, and you have energy and power, and you feel strong. And the benefit again is, like, all these rest periods, and the body burn your own body fat converted into energy so that you can run your life, and you lose a lot of weight where you want it to be lost. And that's why this is that switch from sugar metabolism to fat metabolism is where everything, the whole system resists, and that takes so much energy that you feel like I'm going to pass out. I need food now. I can't go on. I tried my best. I can almost walk, like all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But once you're over there, it's all fine again.
Yeah. And how do you feel right now after 14 days of not eating?
I feel great. I mean, I'm honestly, I'm glad I don't have to eat. Yeah. I'm focused. I feel fantastic. I have energy. I walk my 10,000 steps every single day in February. 2.5, 3 weeks, I go back to the gym. Even no eating, I just feel very relaxed, peaceful, and energized.
Yeah. Even before that, when you did your 62 and 42 days fast, you went to the gym every day, right? Yeah. And lift heavy weights.
Even twice.
Yeah, twice a day. Yeah. And people were probably afraid that they don't have enough energy to work, to take care of their, whatever, their family and stuff like that. What do you say to those people?
I think I recommend if you do a project like this for yourself, to inform your environment. And one of the big excuses for most people, many people, is the social aspect. Mm-hmm. You can go to any party you want and drink water. Like, that's an excuse. You can even go with your friends to a restaurant, enjoy the conversation, be there, and just drink water. And to inform the closest people around you and say, hey, I'm planning to fast. This is what I'm doing. Just want to let you know, I'm still around. I can enjoy and be with you guys as always. I'm just not going to eat. Please support me by not tempting me with stuff and ask me, come on, a little bit. No, it's just easier if they support / respect your journey, and then if you go for a very long fast, empty your refrigerator, get rid of all these temptations, and really get rid of all the stuff that's unhealthy that could become a temptation.
M&Ms.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's it just makes it easier.
Right. And for those who trying this for the first time or stuff like that, it may be harder, I believe, for them to not be tempted if they have food sitting in front of them. So maybe they should even avoid those situations where, just for a while, just for the days that you are fasting, right?
Which situation?
In a situation where they have a feast and you go and just drink water. And for you, it's not a problem. I know you're very disciplined, really strong-minded. If you make a decision of doing anything, you can do it. And that comes from martial arts and all those experience you have in the past. Yeah. A lot of people are not that strong-willed, and they may, if you know yourself well, right, then just avoid those situations. Is that correct?
Yeah, true. I mean, you kind of have to tune in with yourself and like you said, the commitment, the discipline, it's really that's why I think, it's not a quick decision. You should really take the time, sit down, and ask yourself, why am I fasting? What is my goal? What could happen? How long do I plan to fast? How do I start refeeding myself when I start eating again. Because if you go for a longer fast, all your acids are not there. You need to build them with probiotics. And then there's a certain way of refeeding, a period of time that you should look at certain aspects on how to do that. And to really take the time, 10, 15 minutes, an hour, and journal and write that stuff down makes a huge difference than just like a quick decision. Oh, the guy did that. I try that too on Monday. This is usually not how it is achieved successfully.
Right. And how, we talk about you get your energy from your body digesting your store fat, right? Going through ketogenic fat burning process. And is that how you feel like your energy stay up and you can just do anything normally?
Yes, that's the reason. My body have enough energy for everything that I do.
Mm-hmm.
That's the number one reason, maybe number two. The number one or equal to that, I believe, is, again, the mindset, the belief system, the knowing, not the understanding, not the I want to, not the belief, the I know that this is possible. Other people did it. There's proof. There are, again, thousands of studies. If it doesn't work for me, it doesn't work not because it doesn't work. It doesn't work because I didn't work. And that's something I can control. Mm-hmm. But to answer your question, I'm running on a lot of energy and I feel great. Another thing, maybe when I can explain that real quick, how we feed our mind is super important. It's so important. Every single cell that we have inside the cell a minus charge, and outside it's a plus, a positive charge.
Negative and positive.
Yeah, every single cell. And every single cell in our body have about 1.4 volts. It's not a lot, but it's energy, it's electricity. 50 trillion cells times 1.4 volt is 700 trillion volts that we have in our system, in our body. That's a lot of electric charge and energy. Now the question is, how do you feed them? How do you feed them with your mind, with the information that you take in? And what do you do with it? So we all have this capacity. We all have that power within us. And again, it's a choice on how do we feed all these cells. And it starts with consuming negative things on TV, social media, and all that stuff. It goes so far out in every aspect and area of our life. And again, this is something we can control. And then we make decisions. And based on these controllables and decisions, our bodies start to respond. And that's the second part. Beside fat is converted into energy, what do I feed my cells on a much higher level in combination with the energy that my body has in converting fat into energy?
That's some deep shit.
It's pretty deep, but it's just how it is. And right, again, the beauty is that we can control that, and we make decisions based on what is important for us. And again, I made this decision 100 days. So for me, it's a done deal. I made this decision and I mark it as completed. Within my mind, it's achieved. And to be in that state of being allows me to perform. It's just doing it now. And And that's why I achieve exactly what I decided to achieve. But again, we can control that. That comes down to the mindset. That comes down to how we feed our system. And that, I guess, makes the difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a lot of people, right? Our viewer out there, listener out there, and me included, when I first start fasting, we don't know what to do, right? We just thought, oh yeah, we stop eating. What do you suggest for people who are newbies? Because fasting is like healthy, right? It's like almost like a fad now. People throw fasting here, fasting there, but the real fasting where you don't eat at all, if they never done that before, what do you recommend that they do?
I definitely, maybe I started with what I don't recommend. Don't go for 100 days or for 40 or something like that.
You never fast before. Do not stop eating for 100 days.
But what I recommend is, it's just like start easy. Like if you never did that before, just don't eat for a Sunday. And 24 hours. Mm-hmm. That can be a small milestone, a small goal. No big deal, doesn't need a lot of preparation. But if you go one step further and you want to be a little bit more serious and really experience what fasting can do for you, I definitely would go for 3 days. I wouldn't go for 4 or 5. I would go for 3. And the reason for that is because within that period, the body still have access to the energy sources that we gave our body like 3, 4, 5 days ago. The storage, the glycogen storage, will be empty within these 3 days. Mm-hmm. So you do not experience, most likely, that you don't have energy, completely feeling lost. And sometimes that's not even the case, but you don't want to go through that period. You still have energy. You know exactly there's enough. The body have everything it needs. The storage is prepared. Everything is there. And you don't want to go into that phase of that switch that I mentioned before from the sugar metabolism into the ketogenic state of fat metabolism. Because this is when many systems crush in the moment and there's a lack of energy and all that stuff. I wouldn't do that. For newbies who actually start and give it a try, do the 3 days. And again, you can prepare yourself about the sheet that I'm going to send you that you can probably download. And after that, I wouldn't go for 4 or 5 days. If you do that, for example, like next week, you say, okay, in 2 months, I'm going to do like another one. I want to see how it really is. I would go for 5, not for 5 or 6 days, for 4 days and stuff like that. I would go definitely for 10 days because you don't want to stop within this period of not having energy. You want to stop once you have the energy back, once your metabolism actually is running on the fat metabolism and you want to experience how energy comes back, how you actually feel without eating. You want to experience that it is possible for 1, 2, 3 days. And this is, again, that period of switch. Sometimes it's on day 3, 4, 5. But after 5, 6, you go slowly back up. And then I think that's a good strategy for those who want to try and start slowly.
Great, thank you, Pascal, for that. There you go. You'll get your cheat with the link below. You can download that, and first 1 day, and then perhaps 3 days, and then perhaps 10 days. Right. All right. And if they want to follow you, follow your process of where you're at with your 100 days, how do you feel, what are you doing and stuff like that, where can they go?
The best way to reach me is the website 100dayfast.com. On that website you see pretty much everything from me, like social media, IG, Facebook, Twitter, anything you want. So I think that's the best way to actually see the progress, to even ask questions if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Pascal, for being here. And for those who want to start new year with great health, start with fasting, and health is actually your number one commodity. If you don't have that, what's the point of doing anything else, right? You can be a business owner, owning private jets and big mansions and stuff like that. It all doesn't matter if you don't have your health.
Right. I absolutely agree. Maybe when I can mention, if I can mention something else real quick, just quick. When I do speaking, I have 500,000 people. And I often, if it is about health or even sometimes business related topics, I ask the audience, if you could choose right now between health and wealth, what would you choose? And it's an obvious answer, right? Everybody raise their hands because health is their number one priority, just like you said, Dr. Says. Why is it then that more than 50% in certain countries, the society is obese? Right. Like, why is that? US, number one. Germany, number two. Like, why is it that so many people have health conditions that they don't appreciate? It's not the genes. It's nothing else but you. And that's maybe a very critical topic for many people. I don't want to even go into that. The point I want to make is that we need to understand that we all do two things every single day to live life, to survive. We all do that. One is conscious, the other one is subconscious. The subconscious one is something that we all just do. We breathe. Oxygen. Like, turn that thing off, we're all gone. Right?
Yeah.
The other one that we can control, the conscious one, is we eat. We eat. We can control what we eat. Nobody feed these chips into me and make me chew and swallow that stuff. That's a choice. We can control that. So why is it then, again, that the majority of society have no clue about what they eat? What are carbohydrates? What are protein? What is fat? What are minerals? What are vitamins? Like, what is sugar? How does the system work? My own system that I control. The system that need to do all the work in order to provide the energy that I demand to live life on my terms. Why is that? And that's a mystery for me. I was in that very long. And I just encourage everybody to take your health serious, because it's not just health. Your health and the decision you make in that area determines how you show up as a husband, as a parent, as a wife, as an employee for your boss who trusts you, as a business owners for your clients that you say you want to provide value. You are an example. It determines how you show up in the world around you and beyond. And again, that's our responsibility. That's something we can control. And I believe it's just super important. And like you said, it's one of the most important things in every single individual life. Health. We all want to be healthy. We all deserve to be healthy. But are we willing to pay the price? It's a choice.
Right. A lot of people are not willing to.
Right.
Yes, we can talk about this all day long, Pascal. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you, our viewer, for watching us. And if you want to follow Pascal again on his 100 days of fasting, here it is on the screen. And for those entrepreneurs and business owners who want to maximize your output, take care of your health, mind, body, spirit, so you can work your passion in your entrepreneurships or your business and in life. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sass, for having me.
Thank you, Pascal.